No. In fact, they're knocking on the door again. They're inside the 5-yard line. Ole Miss leading it home against number 9 Arkansas, 17-10. 9 minutes to go in the third. The Razorbacks have scored the last 10 points in this one. 11th ranked Kansas State blowing out Kansas 52-14. Colin Klein has 4 rushing touchdowns. He's also thrown for 1 as well. Back to Missouri, the Tigers just kind of turnover from Oklahoma State, and the Cowboys only holding on to a 14-point advantage. Purdue being blown out by Illinois 21-0. Sam Bradford's officially out for tomorrow's game for the St. Louis Rams against Dallas with that high ankle sprain. A.J. Feely gets the start.
California's looking to land a 3-game skid and break through with their first in-conference win in the Pac-12. They face the Utah squad also looking for their first, but fresh off a win over Pitt. The Bears and Utes today at 6:15 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com. WWLS, the Sport Animal Saturday Storyline. Like Cliff Notes for football. Everything you need to know for today's games. This is College Game Day on ESPN Radio.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Well, the ESPN college football analyst, former All-American Trevor Matich, BCS guru, and one of our senior researchers at ESPN, Brad Edwards. I'm Doug Gottlieb. College Game Day on ESPN Radio, ESPNRadio.com, presented by Progressive Insurance. All right, guys, I want to get the Saturday storylines and quickly read you this tweet from Tracy Wolfson, our sideline reporter for CBS Sports. She says, Les Miles saying that that's Tyler Matthew, Ware, and Simon are out for Auburn today, and he expects them back next week. No breaking news, although they'll be back next week. There's no game next week. They don't play until November 5th. Both Alabama and LSU are off next week, getting ready for that massive Titanic showdown in T-Town.
You know, just for protocol, they could have suspended them for the bye as well, but I guess they didn't want this punishment to be too severe.
Synthetic marijuana, synthetic suspension. Maybe that's the correlation. Let's get to Saturday's storylines, and then maybe we'll get you a scoreboard update. Let's start with you, Brad. Number 6 Stanford hosts number 25 Washington tonight. Now, both teams haven't beaten a team with a winning record. Is this their fault for their scheduling?
Well, you know, I mean, in Washington's case, they played a team with a winning record. Nebraska, they just didn't beat them.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just the way that Stanford's schedule has fallen. Let's keep in mind, most of these schedules are put together years in advance, and Stanford could not have known how good they were going to be, because that's not been the history of Stanford football. So I give them a pass. But what I'm really looking forward to in this game tonight, I don't think there's any question Andrew Luck and that offense, they're going to be able to rack up points in a Washington defense that is really challenged to stop the pass. But Stanford's, you know, they're positioned to be a national title contender, and I want to see how good that Stanford defense is. And they rank really high because they haven't played anybody, but this is going to be a true test. As long as Keith Price is close to 100%, the Washington quarterback, then I think we're going to finally get to see what the Stanford defense really has.
Trevor, any worries for number 5 Boise State? They come back home. They host Air Force. Always difficult to prepare for the veer or the option.
Nope. No problem.
Great house. That's why you're one of the best. Not only is he good, but he's concise.
Boise State, the last 2 weeks, has averaged 60 points per game. 60 points per game, average, each of the last 2 weeks. Air Force's defense has averaged giving up 50 points per game the last 2 weeks. So as good as Air Force's offense is, and it is, this is the third-ranked running offense in the country, Boise State won't have a problem. What they have to watch out for is there's a lot of cut blocking, legal, ethical cut blocking that an offense like Air Force will do. And Boise just needs to make sure they stay healthy on defense.
From Missouri with a big third down conversion, 31-17. Purdue with a big lead over Illinois. Arkansas trailing 17-10, but they got first and goal down around the 1-yard line. Kansas State up 52-14. They're going to punt to Kansas. Not sure that matters. If there's one thing so far today that jumps out at you, what would it be?
I think to me it's how Ole Miss jumped all over Arkansas. They were up 17-0. Arkansas traveling back now, 17-10. They're down, but Ole Miss came out on fire. Where has this team been all season?
And to me, it's the depth of the Big 12 just reinforced. There's really only one bad team in that conference, which is Kansas. You could argue about Iowa State, but it's going to be so difficult to go undefeated in that conference because not only you don't have the luxury of taking weeks off, You can't even take a quarter off. Oklahoma State basically took the second quarter off, and all of a sudden a 21-3 lead almost disappeared against Missouri.
Okay, so maybe that leads me to this question. Is the Big 12 a better top-to-bottom conference than the SEC?
Top to bottom, I would say so. I mean, if you're talking about the total depth of the league, yeah, I think that they have. I think they have more.
Especially now, post-Lattimore injury, post-Garcia suspension, that dramatically changes it. I mean, how could you not, right?
Yeah, but if you were going to go head-to-head, I mean, you could make a good argument that the third best team in each league would be A&M on the Big 12 side, Arkansas on the